to seek for help, maybe from spiritual leaders and from other leaders in the community.
The spiritual mentors, they'll tell you to go pray about it. Be patient, God will do miracles.
No, but I can't advise, divorce, because I think in any problem there is a solution.
Hey, he's beating you. You come home.
Then beat him.
Okay, right? I think it has to do with the woman not understanding the power they possess, right? Ni society nyine yacu. Ni society yacu nyine nukwihangana nyine. But no, when it comes to abuse, there is no option, especially cyane nk'iyo ufite abana. Run, go raise your kids.
Exactly.
Run. Pastor, nimbaga mvuze nabi, I don't know. But run for your life, save yourself for the sake of the kids. Nta mpamvu yo kuja kureresha abana if you're capable of doing it.
Thank you. My answer is also yes. We should marry from a different tribe, because when you marry, you are not marrying the community. You are marrying the personality. Yeah. As long as that person has the personality that you want, you don't base on tribe, but you base on the person. Thank you.
From the reasons that I myself, and from what the guys have presented us, none of them did mention that my principles, this person has to be a Mnyamlenge. None of them did say that. Therefore, the sole reason as to why, or rather a way that we should base our argument who to marry, if it is about the character and so forth, let it be that, not the tribe. That is why we're saying it is worth to marry that person, provided he's got what you believe in as a person.
Yes, we should marry outside our community. Because when I marry a person out of our community, it doesn't mean that I've married the whole community. But there is some good people in every community. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you. What I think, first of all, that is not a negative, thinking. We can say just a different thinking from the others. And that's okay, by the way. It's okay to have a different opinion. So for me, I think, first of all, why should we kill each other? You see, hatuwezi sema ati because tutaanza kuoana, then I will not marry her because I will, we have to eliminate the killing part, because that is not who we are. And so for me, I think it's a yes, because you are not marrying a culture, you are marrying a wife, a future. So this is a person that you will live. Let me tell you, we have...
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us, wherever you are, from Mind TV, across Africa, around the world. It is a pleasure having you join us on Mind TV. I'm Biamungu Etienne, reminding you to subscribe and don't forget to share to different platforms. Thank you.
You can raise your hands, alafu pia tunakupatia nafasi unauliza. So tunawauliza wote wawili kama hii swali ya kwanza, the foundation of relationship, alafu wanaanza wakisema foundation ya relationship yao, and again pia kuna ile mawaidha ama zile principles zingine zenye ziko common ambazo tunaweza share ama watu wengine pia wanaweza tumia. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so before tuanze kujibu maswali, kama vile wamesema, tulitaka tufanye kitu mpya. Isikuwe ni kanisa tunahubiria, tunakuja tunahubiri alafu tunaenda. But ikuwe ni discussion, kwa na swali tuulizane. Kuna some topics. There are a lot of topics that we don't talk about in churches, especially when we talk about relationship, when we talk about sex, when you talk about these things that, they are like taboos. To us, it's, weird in church to talk about. So it is good for us to sit down and talk to you. First of all, not because we are the best couple in town or we have a lot of things to share. We have our brother Felix, and they have a YouTube channel. You can watch there. They give very good advice, Felix and the wife. I'm very happy to see you. And also we have other people here who can give us advice, Steve and the other couple. And we have the chairman of Grandeza. You are most welcome. I think, did you welcome him?
No.
Okay, so we are happy to see him. And also other people from different places. So we are not here because we have the best relationship. We still have our challenges, but we are here because we have something to share. Last time I was talking to someone, nikamwambia we'll be talking about relationship. Then nikaulizwa, umekaa hata hujakaa 1 year. Hujakaa 1 year kwa relationship and you want to give advice. So I make sense. And but again, kuna kitu ambacho tunaweza share, and that's why we are here. So watakuwa wanauliza maswali, alafu mimi nitasema vile mimi naelewa. Hatujaongea na yeye vile tutajibu, yeye anajua vile ataongea, alafu na mimi nitaongea vile mimi naona. So wameuliza the first question, what is the foundation of relationship, right? So advice mimi napeanga watu, na kitu ninapenda kuongea, when you are about to marry, you are not just getting a wife. You see, you are getting a mother to your kids. You are getting someone ambayo mtaishi maisha yako yote. So the foundation of relationship is very important. Now, ukiangalia our culture, especially African culture, tumebase relationship on our culture. The way we see things, the way we understand things, because human being tunakuwa affected by 2 things. Hopefully sisi wote tunaelewa Kiswahili and English, right? Yeah, so human beings, we learn from 2 things. One, we learn from nature, the environment, mahali ambapo grow up. Like for example, in our country, kuna watu ambao wako na majina yao ni ya, kuna mtu ana majina ni ya ng'ombe. Kuna mtu ako na jina ya ng'ombe in our culture, right? But huku Kenya ukiambia mtu yeye ni ng'ombe, ni shida, hiyo ni matusi. In our culture unaweza ambia mtu uko na macho kama ya ng'ombe. I remember when I was in primary, nilikuwa secondary school in Burundi. Then kukakuja mwalimu alikuwa anatoka Europe. So huyo mwanafunzi alitaka amcompliment. So akamwambia kwa French, sikumbuki hiyo French, but alimwambia you have les yeux la vache. Kitu kama hiyo. So mzungu Belia ameumia sana because mzungu ukimwambia yeye ni ng'ombe, hiyo ni matusi. So you see different cultures with different way wanna define what is relationship and how they think relationship is. But now, because we are different with different mentality of what relationship is, mimi ningesema the foundation of relationship is the word of God, is Christ himself. Because when we put Christ as the foundation of our relationship, then inakuwa rahisi. There is no culture, because outside Jesus hakuna kitu ingine. So I think Christ must be the foundation of our relationship, because Christ ndiye ameanza relationship. Since in the book of Genesis, we see what happened. God amecreate heaven, the earth, amecreate everything. Then akasema, it is not good for a man to be alone, right? So upon the two in the Bible, we see God anasema, it's not good for this man kukuwa alone. So relationship has the foundation of God, because God is the beginner of our relationship. So the foundation of our relationship must be God and the Bible, because the Bible has its own value and principles that we have to work in for us to have a better relationship. Thank you.
Okay. I guess Esther has something to say.
Like he said, for us to be sitting here, it's not that we are, the role model to a lot of people, because as ourselves, we're still learning, because it's a learning process, it's a journey. But like he said, there's a step that we have taken that many of you have not taken. So it's nice to share. We're not here to teach you, we're not here to be the professors, but we are here to share the experience. And most of the things that we'll talk about, it will highlight the experience of our relationship and understanding of our relationship. So if you're going to take some advices, it's on you. It's on you, but take what is good and leave what is bad, I guess. And like he said, there's some married couple as well. So feel free if there's something you want to add. Feel free, mudufashe. And I want to apologize. I don't speak much of Swahili to those who speak Swahili. I'll try to mix it, but I'll be lying. So I apologize on that note. The foundation of relationship, like he said, really, it's Christ himself, right? Because even like what you referenced to when you started about the beginning, oh, that was him, sorry. When he was talking about the beginning, how, God gave us the authority to subdue the earth. How the earth was created for us, but, the devil took over. But for us to regain the earth, he started by creating a man and a woman, right? So, and then he put them together. So that's a relationship. Not only is it between the man and the woman, but even God to create us, his aim was a relationship, right? So the right relationship starts with Jesus himself, because he's the true meaning of a relationship. That's how I understand it.
Thank you so much. I hope hiyo kizungu mnashika. In case kakipita, usiogope kuuliza mwenzako. Yeah, na yeye pia ajaribu unaelewa? Anyway, so unajua tumezoea kusikia watu wakitumia hizi terms wakisema toxic relationship ama healthy relationship. So my question is, which example ama what example, how does a healthy relationship look like? Hiyo ndio swali.
I think it has to do with many different things, and one being that what was the goal to enter into a relationship, right? So if the goal to enter into a relationship was to get married, it's different from just games, Like I just want to be in relationship for the sake of being in a relationship. So when you enter into a relationship with the goal of marrying that person, the relationship is different from the relationship you enter just for the sake of having a cool boyfriend and a cool girlfriend. So the toxic comes when you don't have a specific goal or purpose, right? That's when you find yourself, because you don't really care about the person. You don't really care because there's no goal, there's no purpose on being with each other, right? So that's when you treat one another in toxic ways of disrespecting, of cheating. Because if your aim is to really marry the person, you wouldn't want to cheat on that person, right? But if your goal is just to play a game, then it's a game. I can sleep with whoever I want to sleep. And then that's what created thank you, that word. That's how I understand it.
Okay, as she said, I think we can define a healthy relationship based on the purpose of the relationship. But of course, in a relationship, there is a lot of things going on. And I think sometimes we use toxic in a way whereby I think the term toxic is mostly misused, you know. Just having problem in a relationship doesn't mean that the relationship is toxic. So I think what makes a relationship, first of all, is to communication. I mean, there must be a communication between the two people in a relationship, mutual communication, and also the understanding, you know, you must understand me and also I must understand you. So a healthy relationship is based on communication, understanding, and also, you know, being there for each other. So I think that's what can define a healthy relationship. But again, you know, healthy can be defined in many ways with different people. So when you ask different people what is a healthy relationship, depending on what they want to see in their partner, that's what they define what is a healthy relationship. So it just depends on how you look at it, and also depend on what you want to see in this person. So a healthy relationship is based mostly on communication and also understanding on the partner in a relationship. Yeah.
So on that note, the question is, what attracted you guys to each other?
Oh, okay. So, what attracted what? You are my wife.
I know, but I want to know too.
Okay. So our story is a very long story because we didn't know each other. We met on Facebook. Yeah, we met on Facebook.
.com generation.
Yeah. So of course, you know, our parents walikuwa wanakuulizia demo wanakuletea. Saa hii we kama una account ya Facebook, bana fanya haraka. Kuna mabibi. Yeah, so nimeona a post yenye alikuwa nayo kwa Facebook. She was doing activist work. So she was an activist, you know, talking about the things that is happening to our community in Congo, our tribe. So, you know, from what she was saying, I was really interested. So I wanted to know more. Nilikuwa na shoot a shot. Sijui wanasema hivyo. I was shooting a shot just to see.
He slid on the DMs.
Yeah, nimeslide kwa DM, but it was my first time to slide in the DM. I've never done that before. Yeah, so of course, udem ameni-ignore. She didn't reply. So ikachukua a very long time now. Of course, wanaume sisi ni simba. Si mnajua, tunapenda kupasiu. Tunapenda kutupasiu kitu na tushikanishe. But after some time, haikuwa possible. Hakuni reply. Then after some time, tukaanza communicate on kwa simu. So after that, I had a lot of questions, I think. So nilikuwa namuuliza maswali. I wanted to know her. I wanted to know her family. I wanted to, you know, to know her value and also her goals in life. And also, nimekuwa na check a lot of background. Because Esther, like, I mean my wife, amenionyesha something that I didn't see in other women. Especially when it comes to openness and being honest with me. Imagine them on a date for 1 or 2 weeks, then anakupea password ya Facebook. So unaenda kwa maboy wote wenye walikuwa wanaongea. So nilikuwa naenda, nimeanza 2014. Did you know that? So 2014 naangalia ni nani alikuwa anamkatia. So she was so open, ananiambia vitu zingine zenye huwezi ambia boy, naona. So for me, nimeona that is one of the things that attracted me to her. She was so honest and so open to me. Because I remember I met a girl a few years ago before I met her. So msichana tunaanza tu kuongea, tena anaanza kunidanganya ati sijui ako Nairobi University anapasiu nini. kumbe aendangi hata shule. So vile nimejua, imagine, au kakitu tu kadogo, imagine. Kakitu tu kadogo, she was a very nice lady, but kakitu tu kadogo kana ku slap kwa kichwa, and you are like, vitu gani zingine zenye atanidanganya? Are you getting it? Yeah, so kama akui honest, you know, anakudanganya just a small thing like that. Anakudanganya ati yako sijui Nairobi na yeye hajafika huko. Yeah. So hiyo kitu imenifanya, first of all, nikuwa attracted to her, and again we had like same values. You know, she wanted a minister. She wanted someone that they can serve God with, and that is what I was looking in a woman that I wanted to marry. Someone that we have the same goal, someone that we want to pursue the same thing, and that is sharing the gospel, and someone who will support me in what I'm doing. You know, sometimes una date na mtu, uko maybe a passion ya kuwa photographer, ama uko na passion ya kuwa a public speaker, ama speaker, right? Mtu mwenye anaongea, alafu mtu anakuambia, you know, spendagi ukikuwa kwa media, spendi ukiongea kwa TV, vitu kama hizo. So huyo mtu, she's not supporting, you know, the value yenye wona value, ama the goals that you have. So I think those are most important thing. She was aligned to my vision and the goal that I have in life. Now, the third thing ni kwamba, sikuwa natafuta a wife, nilikuwa natafuta a mother to my kids. Nilikuwa natafuta a mentor to my kids. You see, the wife ambao unatafuta sio wako. Huyo atakuwa wife wako, but atakuwa mother wa watoto wako. So shida yetu tunakuanga nayo, tunaonanga tu relationship ya kwamba I'm going to marry her and we are going to be happy together, that's it. And most of the time ukimleta kwa nyumba, hiyo excitement inapotea. So that's what I was avoiding. I was looking for someone that I can trust with my kids, someone that I can trust with my future, and a partner, not just a wife that I can manipulate the way I want. So I think that was some of the reasons.
As for me, really it has to do with the timing. At the time, really, I was in a place of prayer. That's what I can say. I was in a place of prayer. And it's a long story, but the Holy Spirit at the time was teaching me about relationship, and you know, He would tell me, like, you need to pray about your marriage. I wasn't really understanding, because at the time I was super busy, like He said, with activism. I was trying to start businesses and all. But the Holy Spirit just kept pushing me, like, pray about your marriage, pray about your marriage. So I obeyed, and I prayed as I know how. And I just accepted it. And then one day I was going through my messages, because at the time I wasn't even managing my own Facebook. I had given it to my friend because I was busy. But at the time, I just went through the messages, and then I saw him. I was like, okay, I'm curious. But somehow I saw him, and I thought I knew him from primary school. I don't know. I thought, like, somehow we went to the same school. But long story short, it was time when Holy Spirit was teaching me about relationship. And at the time, I just wanted to live purpose-driven life, you know. I just had this desire to live the fullness of life. And in order to live the fullness of life, I need, a husband who have the same mentality. As you know, women, we are under a husband, Our husband is our cover. And if we're not covered the way we should be covered, then we will not be able to potentially, pursue our purpose or fulfill our purpose. So when we started talking, it clicked. I saw that he aligned with, like he said, with my values. I saw that he can be my leader. I can learn under him, we can teach each other. We can teach each other. There is that. And as well as, pursue this ministry, like I said, I wanted to live the fullness of what Christ have done. And one of the measures to find somebody who truly understand that. So when I saw him, and once we started talking and our value aligned, there was no question. So that's how we got here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Ningependa kujua so far kwa watu ambao tuko hapa. Maybe uko na compliment ama uko na swali kuhusu majibu ambayo wametupatia sasa hivi. If there is anyone with a question ama kitu yoyote anaweza add, kama vile amesema kuna kapo nyingi hapa, kuna watu ambao wako na maoni tofauti kuhusu haya maswali. If there is any person, unaweza nyosha mkono tukupatie mic.
Feel free to ask. This is a conversation.
Kwa yale tumesikia kutoka kwa ndugu zetu, lakini kitu nilikuwa nataka kusema ni kupeana maoni. Sina question about vitu wameongea, lakini ni maoni. Maoni napeana ni kwa ndugu zetu ambao hawajaoa. Mimi nimeoa, msiniangalie wasichana. Mimi niko na baby. Yeah. Hata kama sijakuja na yeye, lakini niko naye. Maoni napeana ni the way we use to see things, we get married, it is totally different the way things go when you get married. So you have to be careful kwa mambo wanaongea, cause ni mambo walipitia. Thank you.
Ikibazo nshaka kubaza James, ka unataka kuoa, si ndio? Yaje tuseme umeoa. Kuna venye unaweza bibi anaweza kufikisha kwa zile nini future yako, unataka. Kuna wakati unaoa, unapata uko na plani fulani, si ndio? Tuseme unataka kusomea udaktari, lakini umeoa bibi. So unapata huyo bibi yako hataki usome, uendelee na masomo kama umesoma ama bwana, si ndio? Tuseme bibi anataka kusoma, unataka kuendelea na mashule yako like Africans, si ndio? So hapo tuseme kikwambia bibi yangu mimi sitaki uendelee na shule, nataka tu uendelee sitaki urudi shule. Hapo akikwambia hivyo wewe unaweza ni aju unaweza sort hiyo nini hiyo problem yenye iko hapo. Akisema ati mimi sitaki uendelee na masomo yako, nataka ukae uzae watoto.
Sino bikora data we akena. Just so you know.
Murakoze. Anje nitwa Kigeri. Mfite bavuze ko bamwandikiye kuri Facebook. Kandi urukundo ubanje kutubwira ko ari communication, abyumvise no kwizerana hagati ya buri wese. Ese tutaragira ku kintu cyo kwizerana, wowe wabaye attractive n'ukuntu yabaye open kuri wowe. So wabwiwe n'iki ko umuntu abaye open kuri wowe ku buryo wizera ibyo ari kukubwira, kandi turabizi neza ko umuntu ari mugari. Umugore wawe twariganye muri primaire, ndamuzi cyane. Umva kuri we kwizera umuntu uri kure yawe ni ibintu bikomeye. Icyo cyizere nizo kwizera umuntu wakuye. Wizeye ko gwa password ya Facebook yiwe, ngewe nkanjye nyiga muri secondaire nari mfite account ebyiri za Facebook. Nitwa ry'umukobwa, iyindi mfite yanjye. Nereta kandi mbareba mu ishuri akajya yanyura bukazi. So ubwo nanjye icyo cyizere cyawe kubera igihe turimo n'impamvu nicyo mpamvu kwibaza cyane. Turi mu gihe cy'abantu usanga kubeshya ari ibintu byoroshye. kandi no kwizera umuntu birakomeye. Njye ndashaka umbwira izo mbaraga zo kwizera kuko njye no turi kumwe kugira mwizere yicaye hano birangora.
Okay, so this was the question kwa kuelewa directed to their family or their situation. They didn't know each other.
So nitaanza na swali la my brother mwenye ameuliza kama kuna situation like my wife ananiambia nisiende shule maybe, so nikae kwa nyumba na mimi nataka kusoma. How are you going to solve that problem? So I think the reason why nimemuoa ni kwa sababu first of all ni mtu naona hawezi kataa nisome, you know. Ni mtu actually enda na ni push to do that, right? So but kuikuwa kesi ya something like that, I think kitu ya kufanya ya kwanza ni communication. I will sit with her na nijue the reason why ataki niendelee na shule. First of all, is it maybe financial issues zenye zinanifanya anaona kwamba nikienda shule I will not provide? Then we can solve that. Anaweza mwambia maybe on financial issue I'm able to provide in this way or this way. So I think it's more like communication, vile mimi na yeye tunaongea. So siwezi kuwa na a dictatorship in the house niseme no I'm going there na yeye aseme no you are not going. So I think tunafaa tukae chini and we listen to each other. Mimi nimwambie my reason nataka kufanya hii na yeye niambie reason anadhania, you know, she thinks I should do the opposite of what I want to do. So na siwezi sema ati naweza mwambia no ama, you know, we just need to talk and see the differences na tuwezi to come up na idea yenye inaweza tuweka pamoja on what we can do together. I think that's what I can say. I don't know if you...
And I guess it has to do more like the dating process, right? The dating process that we had to talk. We had to each share, you know, the purpose of our lives. And like an example you said, if the purpose of our lives requires to go to school, then there's no need, you know, to burden each other. So it has to do with the communication and, you know, more than, you know, during the marriage, but during the dating process to really understand each other. And marriage, if one fails, both of you fails. So there's no winning or losing. It has to balance. So like you said, it's a communication. Talk to each other about the purpose of life. And, you know, it's better to even come up with the strategy or, you know, the goal plan of how to achieve whatever you guys have talked about. Yeah.
Now, on the other question, so a human is a three being. Kiswahili unasikia Kiswahili? Kiswahili wachumba? Oh, okay. So a human is three being. We have a spirit, a soul, and a body. And I think this is very important for young people as me to understand this. So we have the spiritual part of a human being. We have the soul, whereby we have our emotions, our feelings, and other things, our will, and our intellect. And also we have the body, the physical body. So dating on social media, the only thing you are missing there is mostly the physical part, right? You are not having this intimacy physically. And the problem we have is that most of young people, they focus on the physical part, the body part, more than they focus on the spiritual part and the character, the intellect of a human being. So for me, I didn't date her because I understood everything, that she is perfect, right? I understood that she had some, you know, weaknesses. As a human being, we all have weaknesses. But the question that I was asking myself is that, can I bear with her weaknesses? Kitu yenye mimi naona kwake ni weakness. Je, mimi naweza bear with that? So the trust come when you communicate with someone, when you get to know her. And when you get to know her, those are the two important things, is the soul, her intellect, and her behavior, how she behaves when you talk with her. And I think unaweza sema how can you date someone ambao uko na yeye huwezi mjua. And of course hata ukiwa na mtu for 10 years mtu akitaka kujificha yeye ni nani atajificha. So the reason why nimesema she was open, I mean she was showing me her really self, you know, her weaknesses, everything. So yanyerekaga uwariwe, you know, kuburyo nawe vuga ati uwundi wariwe shobora kumwa, because it wasn't the first time that I dated, right? You know, I dated in the future, but for her it was, you know, special for me, first of all, to understand her, her intellect, her behavior, how she reacts, because we had enough time to talk. We didn't have the physical face-to-face, meeting or whatever, but first we had the same value spiritually, and second, we have the same value when it comes to intellect and, you know, the way she behaves and everything. So I think I didn't have like 100%, you know, insurance, but of course I had something that I can hold on and say, you know, this is the right woman for me. Yeah, so I think that's how I can say.
Everyone is satisfied with the answer? Okay.
Thank you. I want to ask Esther. You've said that being in toxic relationship, but you didn't say being in toxic marriage. How can you survive in toxic marriage in the name of Christian? You are Christian in the name of our culture. Thank you.
That is very sensitive subject, and most of the time when I talk about it, my husband tends to call me a feminist.
You are a feminist.
But toxic marriage, it's worse than toxic relationship, because relationship you can just get out of it, you know. You don't have to explain yourself. But marriage, it's another step, because it's a union, it's a vow, it's a covenant that you have made, not only for you both, but, you know, with the whole society and this religious aspect of it. So it's very complicated. But I'll say, I would say that if you vowed to be in it, then you have to learn to survive it, right? Because you knew the person, first of all. Because as a woman, in relationship, in dating, we have a choice to accept someone, right? So it's our ignorance that put us in the situation of being in toxic marriage. So I wouldn't speak on that because I never experienced it, you know. I never experienced it or witnessed it somehow. But I would say do a better job of choosing. As a woman, like I said, we need to submit to a man, right? So you have the choice to choose who you're going to submit to. If a guy beats you and you feel like you're okay with it, and you vow to love him, then go ahead. You know what I'm saying? So it has to do more of pre-marriage than marriage. But if that's the question, then I'll say leave. If he's beating you, save your life, especially if you have kids. You must leave for the kids so that you can raise the kids. That's how I feel. But I guess the really answer is make a better choice before marriage, because you have a choice to choose. Mama we benshi barahari bazagukubita ugasubirayo. Right. It forces it. Right.
Divorce is an option when it's not working.
Oh, I mean, it depends.
James.
I mean, like, okay, so, ukuntu njyewe mbyumva sibyo yewe kiragoye.
Okay, of course we don't have experience when it comes to that. We are just a few months into marriage. But I think sometimes it is good as people to seek help. You know, you are not alone in this. So just look for someone to talk to. Because
but the society uragenda ukabwira ati umugabo karankubita ngo hango nuko zubako gugende ngo wihangane ga mama ngo utakunda.
Yeah, ugende muri gym nawe mukubita. Anyway. So I think when it comes to abuse, in terms of physically abuse, then that's a red flag. That's not normal, you know. That's really, you need to seek for help, maybe from spiritual leaders and from other leaders in
but
the community.
The spiritual mentors, they'll tell you to go pray about it. Be patient. God will do miracles.
No, but I can't advise, you know, divorce, because I think in any problem there is a solution.
Hey, he's beating you. You come home.
Then beat him.
Okay, ukuntu njyewe mbyumva, right? I think it has to do with the woman not understanding the power they possess, right? Ari yemera divorce yo gucheating, all right? Ni society nyine yacu. Ni society yacu nyine n'ukwihangana nyine nivuge gute. But no, njyewe navuga ati when it comes to abuse there is no option, especially cyane nk'iyo ufite abana. Run, go raise your kids.
Exactly.
Run. Pastor, nimbaga mvuze nabi, I don't know. But run for your life, save yourself for the sake of the kids. Nta mpamvu yo kuja kureresha abana if you're capable of doing it.
Okay, we have about 20 minutes for this question sessions. So I think our representatives, they were asking questions. They need to select the best ones and do it faster. As you explain to the point also, and someone else just to the point, Kugirango, so that we touch every aspect of this program. Tusikuje kuchelewa ama ni aje?